I know that's the name, which includes all four of you. Now, there's a saying, too many hands in the pot. How does it say? But too many. What's the word about the chefs? Too many chefs in the pot spoil the broth. Something like that. So, but first of all, together y'all work really well. And most likely there was one or two persons who focused more on the actual laying of the tracks and that aspect of it, and someone else who may have focused more on making sure the lyrics flowed one from the next. And, you know, so like each of you had an area that you may have focused a little bit more on. And so, Molly, what was it for you?
I mostly focused more on like the crimes, like, you know, a lot of people that be getting killed and stuff like that, and the murders and stuff is still on the street, and they really need to be put behind bars. And then there's like a lot of rapists out there, they watching the young ones, you know, they hate to see stuff like that, you know.
Really? One of the things, there was a young man who I spoke to earlier today, and he was saying, listen, there is a problem, there is a reason to be concerned, and he also said there's an option, going to jail. If you do a crime, of course you go to jail, but he's almost suggesting that maybe there's another approach as well, some other things that we can do so that people don't get to the point of committing the crime so that they won't have to go to jail. As a young man, do you see that as such, and if that's the case, what else can we do to encourage our young men and women to act responsibly?
I would think that's why we created such a song as One Street, because we still human beings and we all have conscience. And we hope that in creating a song like that in the long run, before somebody go to attempt to create such a heinous crime, they would stop and think. And the song would really let them reflect and really think about, you know what, the consequences of doing this, you know? The consequences of their actions.
It makes a whole lot of sense. The consequences are far-reaching. Silver, have you been personally touched by the war in the streets, or if not personally, by extension, folks who have, you know, either gangbang or somebody who's been affected by somebody who has?
Yeah, especially like I said, the age when I walk through the various shelters on the street, I see it every day. It's like an everyday thing to me. So I mean, I thank God for keeping me on through it. I'm still alive, still get breath. Thank God.
Right, indeed. Mr. Sewell, what role do you focus on as it relates to the production of this song, and I gather as the group as a whole?
Because with this song, I really based on most with the kids. You know, kids killing kids these days, you know, 15-year-olds killing, going to jail, raping, and things like that. And I remember back in the day when life was joyful, you know, when everybody couldn't get together and killing. But now so much things now with crime and killing, and especially it's a lot now with the young people killing now. That's what's really getting to me.
They say, fortunately, this is 2008, which in many ways gives us an opportunity to start again. In as far as starting again as a country in 2008, if it were up to you, if you were the Prime Minister, what would you do?
With the crime?
What would you do for the country with a focus on creating a war-free zone, if you will, a war-free Bahamas? Because your song talks about war in the streets. If you were the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, what would you do to stop the war?
Basically, bring God back to the country.
Bring God back to the country.
Really?
I'll people say that we as a Christian nation. I mean, I would say we as a religious nation, but not really a Christian nation. But like I say, we need to bring God back more.
Talking about God, and Young Murder, you talked about, in fact, the whole song talks about God and a relationship with God and decisions and consequences. I mean, how important is God to you?
Me personally, God is very highly important in my life. I mean, any decision I make, I gotta really think about, you know what God would think if I do this, or what God would think if I do that. Because there was a time back in my life where I didn't think about my actions. There was a time back in my life, I mean, yes, I'm not ashamed to say it, there's